Hello everyone and welcome to NizCast. I of course am Niz, and it's been a while since we cast some Dota 2 Canada Cup. We had a few days or dates rescheduled, but finally we're going to see a match, and it's going to be a very big one. It's going to be Digital Chaos going up against compLexity Gaming in a best of 3 for the winners bracket semifinals, and these teams just recently squared off in the Summit 5 qualifiers. In the finals of that, and it went the distance. It went all 5 games, and of course Digital Chaos were the ones that just barely managed to take that series. But we saw a huge focus on the Phoenix, and was it picked up? I think it won every game in that series.
Dragon Knight.
Trying to think.
Team pick.
I'll cheat. I'll look here. Yeah, it won every single game in that series. Every single game. Phoenix was on the winning team, and we see it get snatched up here by compLexity. Before we get into talking about the draft, let's talk about what's been going on in Dota. I've been kind of following along with the international prize pool, and it's still ahead of where it was in previous years, but it seems to have slowed down a bit. So I wonder what Valve's got in store for us to try and increase that. But yeah, that's a big one. We do have another match scheduled for tonight following this series, and it's going to be a losers bracket match, or lower bracket match. I hate to call it the losers bracket, but it's going to be a lower bracket match between Evernova and Enemy GG, and that's just going to be a best of 1. I am probably not going to cast that. Because I'll probably have done this one, and then we'll have probably a break until that other series, and I may not be around for it. But well, we'll get this one done first, and we'll see where we are. But we've got to catch up in the draft here. We got Bounty Hunter, Wisp, Crystal Maiden, and Disruptor banned out by Digital Chaos. compLexity have banned out the Invoker, Beastmaster, Lifestealer, and Clinks.
10 seconds.
On to the picks now. Phoenix. That big, super valuable pick picked up by compLexity. They followed it up with a Darkseer, Dragon Knight, and Juggernaut. Digital Chaos went with a Doom, Dazzle, Puck, and Gyrocopter. Now we're all caught up. Let's talk about the lanes a little bit. Looks like off lane for compLexity is going to be Darkseer. We've seen Swindlemelons do a lot of work on that hero in the past. We've got Dragon Knight in the mid lane, Juggernaut in the safe lane, and then Phoenix is one of the supports. We'll wait to see who they're going to pair it up with, which won't be an Oracle because that was just banned out by Digital Chaos. Speaking of Digital Chaos, their lanes. We got Puck in the mid lane. Doom, we're not sure yet if that's off lane or position 4. Gyrocopter is going to be safe lane, and Dazzle is going to be there supporting him as well.
5 seconds.
Now, what is compLexity going to ban out here? So far, compLexity's got I'd say a pretty strong mid-game draft. They're not really looking to go super late with this. And honestly, Digital Chaos has one maybe a little bit greedier, but for the most part, the same. You know, a draft that's going to peak at that kind of mid-game point, and certainly with Digital Chaos, with that flexibility in the Doom, they can always change that up depending on what they have. Well, what they have left, but also after what they see compLexity picks. As Batrider was the final ban for compLexity, and now they get to choose who's their support going to be. And they'll be pretty much committed to their lineup before Digital Chaos picks that 5th and final hero. So we don't know if that Doom's going to be off lane or if he's going to be in the jungle. And that really changes. It doesn't change the face of Digital Chaos lineup by a lot, but certainly they can step up the aggression and step up their presence in the lanes by just saying, okay, well, we'll just put Doom in the off lane and we'll pick another support to go with the Dazzle. However, if they decide to pick an offlaner and say, we'll put the Doom in the jungle, we'll be a little bit weaker early on in the lanes, but we'll have that ability to scale later on into the game, and then it's really in compLexity's court to say, you know what, you want to try to end this early, then you're going to have to do it quickly, because we're going to have just a greedier setup, and we're going to be able to scale much stronger into the late game, so you have no chance if you go late. They're going to pick up Shadow Shaman, and that's going to do exactly that. It's going to allow them to get some pickoffs and be able to push, push, push. And we're going to see a Meepo. Always exciting. Always, always, always exciting to see a Meepo. And we're going to see it here in game 1 of this best of 5, or best of 3. Interesting. So it is... What does that make this? Puck off lane? Meepo mid? Gyrocopter safe? compLexity will look to get a pick off and then take some towers down with that Shadow Shaman. Just keep snowballing off of that. And hopefully be able to put so much pressure on the Digital Chaos that the Meepo is not able to get out of control. And they're going to be able to tie up so much of the map that Digital Chaos is going to get a little bit starved for gold. Because they do have a lot of heroes that want gold. You know, Puck gets a lot of the gold that he needs early on, but beyond that, you've got Gyrocopter, Doom, and Meepo that are all pretty gold hungry. But, oh, I always forget to exec my casting config. There it is. Alright, so without further ado, let's introduce our teams and our players here for the Dota 2 Canada Cup Winners Bracket Semifinals, best of 3 between compLexity on our Radiant side and Digital Chaos on our Dire. Speaking of our Radiant side, let's look at Swindlemelons. He's going to be playing our Darks here. We've got Limp playing the Dragon Knight. Chessie is going to be playing the Juggernaut. Z-Freak on the Phoenix. Handskin on the Shadow Shaman, and that's going to round up compLexity. On to our Dire side now. Digital Chaos. We've got Misery playing the Puck. Saxa is going to be on the Dazzle. Resolution playing the Gyrocopter. The Weepo, or Wee, playing the Meepo. And Moo is going to be playing the Doom. As for our starting items, this recipe is going to be a Wraith Band for the Gyrocopter. And everything else looks pretty standard, I'd say. Maybe the only difference is Misery just picking up a set of tangos to start things off. Initial horn will sound. Looks like Limp's going to be able to get the bottom bounty rune, and the top one's going to be secured by Wee. And we're going to have a pause. It's going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. So, the lanes are a little bit different than how we expected. We've got the Meepo in the mid lane going up against what we expect to be the Dragon Knight. But the key is the bottom. We've got Moo playing the Doom, which means he's the offlaner and he's not the position for Doom that we expected. Resolution's on the Gyrocopter, so we know he's going to be safe lane farming with his items. And Misery is going to be playing a support Puck. I guess that changes the comment I made earlier about being gold hungry. But I'm not sure how much it changes it. You still have a very greedy kind of position for support. But when you've got the Doom in the jungle, he's got the ability to just farm the jungle, and he gets his gold that way. The Puck, I'm not really sure how they're going to get the gold. But we're going to have another pause here as Handskin crashes. Moo complaining about his block. Rip. That looks like that creep has gotten around Moo. The block is dead. Well, it looks like everyone's reconnected and we're good to go here. So the Gs are going to get dropped. And here we go. I want to look at the other lanes, but we do have this smoke gank coming out from compLexity. It's going to start wrapping around on mid here. Hanskin going to lead the way. And he's going to lead the way with the Shackle. We've got the Sunray, and Limp's going to follow it up with the Dragon Tail stun onto Wii, who drops below half, and he's going to get very, very low. It should be first blood here. There it is. Question is, will Limp be able to get on away? As he's rooted there in place, but no, he won't. It's going to be a trade. Both mid laners going to go down there, but of course, first blood going the way of compLexity, and Hanskin with the kill there as the Shadow Shaman. So now let's take a look at our lanes. We've got the Dragon Knight and the Meepo squaring off in the mid lane. We've got the Phoenix. He's going to be moving around. I'm not sure where he is going to find a home just yet. Bottom lane is going to be an off lane Doom going up against safe lane farming Juggernaut and Shadow Shaman that's coming down there to babysit him. Top lane is going to be the Darkseer as he pops in and out of that lane. And he's going up against a safe lane farming Gyrocopter protected by a Dazzle, and we've got a pulling, supporting, I don't know, Puck. We'll have to see how this works out for Misery. Well, he's going to get stunned up, and Z-Freak comes Icarus diving on in. And there comes the Sunray, as Wee's going to take another fall. Just as he skills up Divided We Stand. Well, they know exactly where Swindles is because they have this Observer Ward. So they know that he's hiding in the side there. And Misery's going to come and exchange a couple blows with them, but Swindles seems to be perfectly fine. He's tanking all this damage, and that's why. Because Z-Freak coming in with the Sunbeam, and Swindles is actually still going to go down as Z-Freak was going aggressive there with the Sunbeam going onto the Dazzle, but Swindle ended up just taking too much damage, and he went down, and it's now evened up at 2 kills apiece. Far mid lane with those 2 kills onto Meepo has led to Limp getting out ahead. 15-5 right now, our last hit leader. And Chessie sitting at 12-5 compared to Resolution at 15-7 on the Gyrocopter. However, of course, looking at the offlaners, compLexity has the advantage there with 10-0 in the Darkseer, and the Doom just sitting at 4-0 right now. Question is really going to be, what is this Puck going to be able to do? Because they're going to put a little bit of pressure on the move, but now Misery rotating down towards the mid lane. So is this the strat? Are they just going to move Wii into the jungle and farm him up in the jungle the entire time while he cleans up a couple stacks and give Misery the mid? Is that how they plan on getting him some gold? Icarus dive in from Z-Freak. Misery's there to silence him up, but it's only a brief silence. It's only a level 3 Puck. And Misery is going to go down. No! He's able to jaunt away with that orb. And he survives. Not by much, but he survives. And now we doing a little bit of stacking here. He's going to stack two caps at once. Using the different Meepos there. I do like what they're doing here with the lanes and how they rotated Meepo out of mid into the jungle and now put the Puck back towards the mid. No. The only issue is that the Puck isn't really going to be able to do much at all in this mid lane. He's just going to be able to get whatever he can. And luckily enough for him, he's going up against the Dragon Knight, which pushes the lane pretty easily, so he's going to be able to get some last hits under his tower. Whereas if he was up against a more mid-dominating hero that doesn't really push the lane so much, he would just be in trouble because he would just get out-denied constantly because his attack damage would be too low. Weehawk continuing to farm in the jungle. What's Resolution doing so far? He's gone for phase boots. I kept wanting to say boots to travel, but I knew it was wrong. Phase boots as his first item. The Ring of Protection looks like he's going to build that into an Aquila as well. We've got Phase Boots almost completed on Moo. And we got 3 heroes down here in the bottom lane for complexity. And they're actually just going to smoke up with Chessie and go on the move here. There's Chessie actually holding on to 2 Observer Wards. As they go to mid, and they're going to wrap in behind Misery, or... No, they're not. They're going right up. They want to go for Wii. So they've gone between the 2 mid towers, and they're going to find him and all. He's got a Meepo on low HP. And there he goes. The Phoenix is going to be able to do it himself. DC did manage to see the Juggernaut. But now Saxa is going to run right into him. And they do have Shallow Grave, but Resolution and Saxa are going to get separated. And Resolution's just going to die there, and Z-Freak pinging out where Saxa was, but he's already TP'd away. So nice rotation there from complexity.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Now getting some damage in on the tier 1 is Misery.
Middle tower
Loving the
is
space that he just got in the mid lane. He's now up at 15 CS, but still only even with the Dazzle.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Got a long way to go to get himself back into this game, but Resolution's now come down towards the bottom. As I'm not sure if Hanskin saw him there. But Resolution gonna farm up this camp. That's been stacked, was it 3 times? I think it was 3 times. And we're charging after Hanskin. Hanskin turns around with the Shackle. We've got a TP in from Z-Freak. He's going to wait and bring out the Sunbeam. Resolution almost done with his camp, so he just stole that from complexity. Now, he was going to go for the bottom rune, and so was Chessie, but both ended up turning away. Hanskin completes his Arcane Boots. We've already got Tranquils and an Urn up on our Phoenix. Phase Boots up on Moo. Misery's got his Treads. Limp just with Boots Bottle. Chessie's gone Phase Aquila. He's got his Treads as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And Swindle actually not as high up as we're used to seeing. But he'll look to get a little bit of farm here. Which is, I guess, a little bit surprising because we didn't really see too much focus on shutting him down early on. It's complexity now grouping up in the mid. So you're going to start pushing this tier 1 tower. But some TPs are coming in from Digital Chaos. It's going to be Resolution. Dropping the call down. But complexity kind of disengaged, and now they're going to re-engage as they jump onto Misery. Shallow Grave going to get used by Saxa. He's going to keep the puck alive for a while he jumps away with his orb, but he's going to tick out to the Dragon Knight Fire. Or Poison, whatever it is. Green, Corrosive Breath, I guess it's Poison.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Tier 1 tower down, and they're going to keep pushing. They're going to go for the tier 2. Still have quite some time on this Dragon Knight. They're going to drop the Serpent Wards. And not much DC is going to be able to do here to stop this push. They are pushing in other lanes. We've got Wii pushing up past the tier 1 in the top lane. And they were pushing in the bottom lane on Moo, but he's just TP'd back. And now Resolution's going to be the target for complexity. Limp's dragon form has just ended, and Moo's already doomed him up. And now he's going to step. No, he's not. He's going to wait right on the edge of the Dream Coil, but he is dead. We've got Chessie dead as well. Orb going to fly in as they're going to go after Hanskin. They will get the tier 2 tower. No, they won't. Saxa got the deny there with that attack. Right as the volley from the Serpent Wards were going in. And complexity loses 3 heroes with that push. It's about a 2,000 gold swing in favor of Digital Chaos, but now we've got lag as Wii is getting engaged on by complexity. Apparently it's just Digital Chaos here. Of course, almost all these players playing from Europe, but we've got the G's getting called there. I joke. They're not really playing from Europe. They're both in in NA, but they're largely European players. And the way we've hit the 10-minute mark, we're tied at 5 kills apiece. We'll switch on over to our net worth. You can see right now 4,200 net worth for the Dragon Knight. He's our leader. Chessie's sitting at 4K. We've got 4.1 on Wii, 3.5 on Resolution, 3.3 on Moo, and also 3.3 on Swindlemelons. That's pretty much even. Our puck sitting at 2.3, almost 2.4 for Misery. So he's still behind the Phoenix. I'm not sure how Digital Chaos plans on getting this puck back in it, but unfortunately for him, I don't think their Meepo had the start they really wanted. He did have a good time in the jungle, and he might get a kill here. Nope, Swindle's able to TP. His laning phase was an absolute disaster, which probably would have set him back. But then once he got into the jungle, it was pretty good, but then that gank came in from compLexity, once again setting him back.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That leaves Digital Chaos in an interesting position as they're going to group up for a smoke, but it's immediately going to get popped because compLexity was already on their side of the map. It's still going to allow them to get 2 kills here as they're going to drop the Shadow Shaman and the Dragon Knight, and it might be more as Z-Freak Icarus dives away. But they're going to get a bunch of gold here from the Serpent Wards as Hanskin dropped those right before he died.
Dire's bottom tower.
That's a lot of extra gold, 27 gold a pop for each of those.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
And so we just destroyed the top tier 1 tower.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Quickly bring up our net worth here. And that play of compLexity just staying a little bit too late in the mid lane on that tier 2 punished them greatly, and then they just got they invaded Digital Chaos' side of the map and lost 2 heroes. As DC had just grouped up, just on the high ground, right above them. And now we've got Digital Chaos leading the way in terms of gold. It's now 2,000 gold ahead, as it updates were more like 2,500. XP more so in their favor, but you expect that with the Meepo. As compLexity continues to push, they need to push with this lineup as well. As they're going to go for this bottom tier 1. Limp going to get the stun off onto Saxa, but nice Dream Coil by Misery is going to land on 3. Limp and Chessie are both dead. Z-Freak jumps in, Supernova, but their Digital Chaos is going to focus that down, so it's going to be 4 dead on the side of compLexity as Swindle tries to run and keep at least 1 member alive on the side of compLexity, but it's not going to happen. Misery catches him with the Illusory Orb, and it's a full 5-man team wipe. It's Digital Chaos now had 12-5 in terms of hero kills. That last fight was about a 2,000 gold, or sorry, 3,000 gold swing in favor of them.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
We just claimed the mid tier 1 as well, so it keeps getting worse for compLexity.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And now that's just given we enough gold to buy his Aghanim Scepter, so we've got another Meepo.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So the members of Digital Chaos regroup and go to push this bottom tier 1, which looks to be going down for free. Doesn't look like compLexity is going to come and contest this, nor do I think they should.
Radiant structures are fortified.
There it goes.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Take a quick jump around and see who's got what. We've got almost a mech completed by Swindlemelons. Make sure there's nothing on the courier. Nope. He's about 800 gold away from completing his mech. What about Limp? He's got treads. He's working on an armlet, but he's only got the Helm of Iron Will and 1,200. Chessie's got phase and drums, 800 gold. Z-Freak still just with his Tranquils and Urn, but he's up to another 700, almost 800. And Hanskin just has his Arcanes. So close, like there's going to be something happening here. The teams are so close to each other. Limp's going to come out of Invis, stun up Saxa. He will shallow grave himself, buy himself a little bit of time. Will he be able to get on out of here? I don't think so. I think Limp's going to be able to finish him. There he is. But they did drop the Serpent Wards as they were trying to engage onto Moo. And look at this. Moo, Resolution, and Misery immediately going to smoke up and charge into their jungle and try to catch someone from compLexity. Are they going to go up or are they going to go down? They're going to go up. Chessie's in the mid lane, so they're going to run into 3. And those 3 are all TPing out, or at least 2 of them are, as they're going to interrupt Handskin and Swindles. And that's going to be 2 kills for Digital Chaos. However, the TPs went down towards the bottom, and Limp was able to get a kill onto Wii. Of course, he had some help from Z-Freak and Chessie. We'll quickly go over the items here for Digital Chaos. We got Blink Dagger up on Misery to go with his treads. Saksa just with his arcanes, and almost a buckler finish to go with his headdress. So he's on his way towards a mech. Resolution just now finishes his S and Y. So he's gone Phase, Aquila, S and Y. Probably BKB is going to be next. We'll wait on Wii until he respawns here. We've got Moo with his Phase Boots, Drums, and Ring of Bassi, but he's also got a Shadow Amulet, so he's going to have a Shadow Blade soon, as he's sitting at 860 gold. And now we've got Wii respawning, as he's just got his treads and his Aghanim Scepter, but another 1100 as well. Limp's completed his armlet, and the mech is completed on Swindle Melons as well. So everyone's pretty much got their first round of items completed. Guess Chessie's going to be the next one to actually pick up an item here, so we'll see what he gets.
Is under attack.
Although Moo could give us an indication of what he's going to be going for. Oh, sorry, he's got the Shadow Blade, right? And there it is. The compLexity who tried to go for a play there and run into DC. But they were scouted out and then they backed up, and then DC even confirmed it with the scan. Oh, now DC's smoked up, and Limp's going to walk uphill right into it. He's going to pop the smoke, and he has no idea that he's just done so, and now he's dead. Z-Freak doing the best that he can with his Sunbeam. But Moo with that Shadow Blade makes it so they can't even turn and go on him. Handskin, he's got the Shackle, he's got his wards down as well. His Resolution going to get shallow graved up by the Dazzle, who also died. So the 2 of them are dead now, and now Moo tries to go after Handskin, but Handskin turns around and gets the Shackle off. They end up trading lives, as Misery will be able to get on out of here. Doom was used on the Swindles, but he'll be perfectly fine.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So we got 2 alive on either side.
Radiant's
The only
is under attack.
thing was Digital Chaos only actually had 4 at that fight, whereas compLexity had 5. Weehaw was just farming up. And Chessie's gone for a Diffusal Blade. Now Misery completes his Veil. And you got a Blink Dagger up on Weehaw. It's been a bit of a rough game here for compLexity. They were off to a decent start. They started really taking down some towers. They got some really good rotations early on. But recently, just the last couple fights haven't been going all too hot for them. The last fight, honestly, it went okay. Just it being even, I think, is good for compLexity based on how the last couple have gone. But certainly, it's still not the position they'd like to be in. Resolution picks up an Ogre Club. So, I believe that will still be a BKB for him. With a Defiance.
Where's my pension?
Picked up by Z-Freak, and Vacuum's going to bring back Misery here as he's going to try to escape on the puck. He does have his Blink Dagger, but he's not going to be able to blink away. He will be able to jaunt away, though, with his orb. And he needs another 3 seconds for his Blink Dagger there, but he's not going to be able to. Chessie gets the last slash in, and they get the kill on the puck. Now he's going to run into Roche Pit. And going to start soloing it, but not for long, because here comes compLexity. With that puck dead, they feel like they can just go for Roche here. They drop the Serpent Wards in there, so they're committed. What is Moo doing here? Going for a wraparound. Or is he? Maybe he's just going for Swindle Mounds. Yeah, he's just going to open up onto Swindle Mounds, but there's some other heroes approaching. Looks like Swindle Mounds is as good as dead here. We've got Wee engaged on as he gets caught with the shackles. And Wee's dead, so we got Wee dead on the side of Digital Chaos. Swindle's dead on the side of complexity. And we just had Misery respawning. TPs to the bottom tier 1. He's going to orb on in. Going to jump in, get a silence off. Roche getting very, very low. 600, 500, 300, 100 HP. Aegis going to get picked up by Chessie. And Z-Freak with the sun ray out. As Limp's going to get the stun off. He's going to go down. Here comes the respawn from Chessie. But I don't know if him and Z-Freak are going to be able to do much here. As Chessie just spins and TPs away. Z-Freak standing up there, unable to do much of anything. Eventually just goes down to the right clicks. And complexity, once again, lose 4 heroes. It's not showing the death of the Meepo, but of course it's not showing the death of the Darkseer either. But either way, another swing in favor of Digital Chaos. Another 2,000 gold. This game keeps getting, I guess, more and more out of reach for complexity. 12 to 21 right now. Swindles. Gonna vacuum back resolution. But he'll just TP back up to top. Back up to the fountain and get his HP and mana back up so he can continue farming for his BKBs. He just needs a recipe to complete that. Got the mech completed by Saksa. And there's Moo picking up Vlad's. Swindles just finished a Crimson Guard for his team. And looks like we might have a pipe completed by Z-Freak shortly. Chessie up to 2,400 gold after picking up his Diffusal. We got another 2,400 gold as well on Limp. We has gone Dragonlance. The increased attack range, of course, only applies to range heroes, but we got an engage here in the bottom. Dreamcoil on 2, onto Chessie and Swindles. Chessie just gets doomed up. We got a nice wall vacuum from Swindle Mounds, and that's going to get them 1 kill, maybe 2. In fact, it will be 2, as both the Dazzle and the Puck drop, but it does cost them a lot. And oh my goodness, here comes Digital Chaos, and they just go so hard on the complexity. It's a full 5-man wipe for them. In all 5 games in the last series that these two teams played in that best of 5 I mentioned in the draft, they all didn't really last very long. They were all in and around 30 minutes. And this game looks like it could be 30 minutes or less here in favor of Digital Chaos, as they're going to get this tier 2 tower. Question is, will they keep pushing, going for a tier 3, or what is going to be the game plan here? Glyph's going to delay them slightly. And there are 13 seconds until 4 members are up on the side of complexity. It may not be worth the risk sticking around. They'll probably stick around for this wave and then back. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Chessie still holding on to that 2,400 gold. We did just see Limp pick up a Blink Dagger. And there's Z-Freak completing that pipe. Plate mail picked up by Moo, but the issue is this. The net worth graph, and it's continued to go the way of Digital Chaos. 12,000 gold now ahead. XP over the 15k mark as well. And we've got Digital Chaos constantly adding on items, and a lot of these plays and these fights that have been going on, it really hasn't involved Wee too much. He's only sitting at 3, 5, and 3 right now in his kill total. 6 out of 26 kills. As they get a pick off there on the Z-Freak. Probably not the target they wanted with their smoke ink, but it is a kill nonetheless. Hanskin and Chessie doing a little splitting up in the top lane, but they're going to have to come back and defend because We've got Digital Chaos pushing the tier 2 tower. They're probably going to wait to defend high ground. They're probably just going to give up this tier 2 tower. It's not worth defending, let alone defending 4v5. Digital Chaos just melt through that. They've got Weehaw back in the top lane. And he just blew up Chessie in the top lane with his Blink Dagger. And poof spam. And that's 50 seconds without a Juggernaut. Chessie does not have buyback, and he's not going to tick up and have enough gold anytime soon. But he's going to be dead for the duration. Everyone else on the side of compLexity does have buyback with the exception of Z-Freak. Digital Chaos has to get kills to be able to force those out. Looks like they're just going to wait for their next creep wave before they try to push high ground here. Z-Freak constantly throwing out those fiery spirits to slow down the attack. More staff getting picked up by Handskin. Here we go. Digital Chaos takes to the high ground with their creep wave. Tier 3 tower getting pretty low on HP, down a quarter. And it's dead.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Digital Chaos gonna back with the respawn of Chessie. It's gonna play it nice and safe.
A prize.
Oh, Misery with a rather aggressive jump forward there, and you might get punished for it. As Swindles and Z-Freak gonna chase him down. Misery gonna get down to 350 HP. They just don't have enough. Well, they did have enough to finish him there, but it wasn't worth the risk of chasing after. It would have been a little bit too long of a chase. Look at this. We just got a whole bunch more items getting picked up. This Blink Dagger just, or Sheepstick just gets picked up by Wee, and we see him use it immediately as he jumps on the Handskin. And once again, that pink spam is Mook. Gonna throw out the Doom onto Z-Freak. Got Chessie here as well, and Viz, and he's gonna open up onto Wee. He starts with the Omni Slash, but he's jumping around. There's too many targets for that Omni Slash to be of value. Now he starts spinning. He's dead. Limp's dead. Swindles comes in, nice wall vacuum, but there's not going to be enough, and there's the GG. Is compLexity going to tap out of this one? It's going to be a rampage right at the end there for Weehaw. And the Weepo is successful. As Digital Chaos take game 1 of this best of 3 between them and compLexity. We're in the winner's bracket semifinals for the Dota 2 Canada Cup. Once again, I'm Niz, and we'll be back with game 2 shortly here. In the meantime, I'm going to throw it to some music. And we'll see you in, like I said, probably just a few minutes to jump immediately into game 2.